My name is Patricia Van Haren, and I am a family law attorney, and I am so excited to welcome our guests to our show today. So can you both please introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about your background?
My name is Cindy J. Cadet. I am a mom, author, and a trauma counselor in the high schools. I've worked with students in various capacities over the last 15 plus years, and I really am passionate about parents connecting with their children.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a kid author and artist. I am the CEO of Brave Kid Press.
And you recently published a book, which I have a copy of that here. And I see it's in your background. I've got a writing journal and your book. And can you tell me a little bit about your book? Can you tell me about who your book's intended for and tell me a little bit about it?
It's about a girl named Addison. Her parents got divorced and she tells her friends how she feels. And her friends help her express how she feels to her parents.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what she's saying, it's definitely a book about children expressing themselves after divorce, living in two homes. The book is intended for parents, even teachers and counseling professionals who work with children that are living in two homes, and also attorneys. We definitely want to connect with divorce attorneys so we can circulate our resources for the parents that are going through separation and divorce.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to read your book and see the children's perspective. In my line of work, in some cases, I'm appointed an attorney for the children. So children that have parents with real high conflict divorce. And so in looking at the journal and looking at the book, I thought, what a great tool for those clients. And then I also do a lot of collaborative divorce work and mediation work. So we do have parents that want to work together. They're just learning how to work together. And I'm so excited to offer this as a resource for those parents, for those children. What inspired you to write this book together?
Well, Abby and I have been adjusting to our new normal after divorce. And during the time that we were quarantined, we spent a lot of time together. And I started to notice a little bit of Abby has a hard time already expressing herself, but I was trying to dig deeper, and we started to have open conversations. And during that time, she was like, "Mommy, we should write a book so other kids can express themselves to their parents too." So that was definitely my inspiration.
That's great. That's great. And Abby, I want to know, how do you think children of divorce can be helped by your book? You're a child of divorce, and I know probably was very helpful for you authoring the book and authoring it with your mom, but how do you feel like this book can help other children and this journal can help other children?
It can help people because then so they can express how they feel.
Yeah.
That's so important.
It is so important for kids to be able to express themselves. As I said, Abby sometimes has a hard time expressing herself, but she likes to write and she likes to draw. She's an artist. So sometimes she expresses herself through like written work or artwork.
Yeah, and I really love how this journal has these illustrations. Because sometimes it's so hard for kids to have words to put with the feelings. So we have all the faces. How do I feel today? And I just love that next to the journaling, and they can put those check boxes and probably helps them to be able to open up that conversation.
The journal was designed for kids to be able to express how they're feeling each day and to be able to take it back and forth between, going to moms and dads and, having that space, that safe space to be able to express how they're feeling and even think about their feelings or even write about their day.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. And Cindy, what are some of the things that you've learned through your own divorce I know you recently went through your own transition, and what have you learned that can help our listeners in regards to co-parenting, hearing the needs of their children, and all of that?
Sure. I learned that divorce is definitely hard. It's hard on the parents and it's also very hard on the children. Emotions do run high, but I think it's important. Well, I know actually it's really important for parents to create that space so children can feel comfortable to come to them with how they're feeling. And sometimes we might not like what our kids are saying because they're going through a transition and it's something new. They might not like it, and they might have feelings about it, and making that space comfortable for them to express themselves will help you to understand how they're feeling and also bond with them on a deeper level, because sometimes with the emotions of divorce and all the stuff that's going on in the courtroom can really like stir up a lot of ill feelings. But despite how you feel about your co-parent, you should definitely put your children high on the list of trying to make sure you have that time with them. And they will open up. Sometimes it takes a while, but they will open up, and making that space for them is definitely important.
Yeah, I agree. And Abby, can you tell us a little bit about how being the child of a divorce has impacted you? I know you probably had to go through some changes, and can you just share a little bit about your experience with that?
Now I live in two homes instead of one home. I live in one home with my dad and one home with my mom.
Yeah. And that's what inspired this book is going between those two homes, right?
Yes.
That's great. And then for the parents who are listening and maybe going through their own divorce, what is something that you'd like to say to them to help them understand how their kids feel?
I want to say that sometimes kids do blame themselves. And we as parents have to remind them that the divorce is not their fault. And we also have to continue to reassure them that both parents love them. No matter what's going on with the parents, keep that between the adults and try not to put the child in the middle, because it puts a lot of stress and anxiety on the children when they feel like they have to like pick sides, or they're like reporting back and forth what's happening at one house to the other house. So it's really important to just, let your child be a child and not have to worry about adult issues or feel like they have to take sides, because that's really stressful on the kids. And, just, be open and have honest communication, age appropriate communication with your children so that they feel a sense of like what they have to say matters and that they understand what is going on. Because there's a lot of times when the kids are confused and they have no idea what's really going on. So opening that, conversation and being able to talk to them on a daily basis, reassuring them that you love them and that, their co-parent loves them as well is really important.
I like a lot of what you were saying, being supportive of the fact that, the child should be able to love both parents. So many times I see, especially in these high conflict divorces, kids really feel like they have to choose sides. Like they're afraid of showing, dad that they love mom, and they're afraid of showing mom that they love dad. And if the parents are able to set that aside and really understand that while they may not have positive feelings about each other, their children need to be free to love the other parent. Their children need to be free to be happy to be with mom, to be happy to be with dad, and enjoy all that quality time.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think it is really important for parents to model that even though there is a divorce, you don't necessarily hate each other, because that's also a message that the children do pick up. They wonder, why are you guys always angry or always arguing? Or sometimes there's just no communication at all. So that's also kind of weird for, the drop off where neither person saying hi or being friendly, because kids are learning how to deal with relationships by watching their parents. So I encourage parents to take that into consideration and, in front of the children, be be on a friendly basis and communicate in a way that is a healthy way for the kids to learn how to deal with relationships as they grow up.
Absolutely. And how has creating this book and this journal with Abby helped you in being better able to assist her from a mom perspective in the divorce?
Being able to create this together was a really special bonding experience for us during the time of Corona and COVID. We spent a lot of time together in the house. And so there were times where she would come back from visiting with her dad, and I wasn't really sure what to really make of it because she wouldn't really say much. And so I started to encourage her to write and encourage her to draw about her feelings. And I've noticed an improvement on her trying to express herself, and now she feels a little bit more comfortable where I don't have to necessarily have to ask her questions. She'll get in the car and just tell me how she's feeling or what they did for the weekend. And so I feel like having these resources makes it a little bit more easy for the kids to be able to think about what they're feeling and write those feelings down. And when a child has a journal, I think it's important for the parents to ask permission instead of just reading the journal. I would ask for permission so you can show that you respect your child and respect their privacy, and then encourage to have an open discussion regarding what's in the journal.
And so for children that are meeting with either reunification therapists or in collaborative divorce, a lot of times we'll have a child specialist. It seems like if the child's working with a therapist, this journal can be great for them to bring to therapy to help the therapist too know what's going on with the child. What are the emotions that the child's experiencing during the week? How are the transitions going? And that way they can help the parents work with the children, I would think.
Yes, I totally agree, because even as an adult, journaling is helpful, and it shows how you're progressing throughout the time that you're healing, and just coping with a situation that no one really plans for divorce. But being able to write down your feelings and reflect, and even just have a conversation about your feelings is definitely helpful in the healing process.
Great. And where can our listeners and viewers find out more information about the two of you?
You can visit us at our website, bravekidpressauthor.com. We're on Instagram, Brave Kid Press, and we're also on YouTube as The Brave Butterfly, our collection, because we have the book and the journal that goes along with the book. We also have a variety of other journals where they, think gratitude journals, sketch journals. So we have a variety of different journals that kids are able to use in order to express themselves. And being thankful is definitely something that is important for kids to practice gratitude and stuff like that. So
absolutely. So do you have any other books in the works?
We're actually working on our second book. We're hoping to launch that second book in the spring of 2021.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait to read it. And when we get to the end, I will have some links to your web pages so that our guests, our viewers can click on any of the links and your social media and be able to find you. I'm sure they're going to be excited to read this book. So it's Living in Two Homes is Tough. It's in the background there, and I have the book and I have the workbook. I was really easily able to find both of these on Amazon. They came to me within a couple days of ordering them. And I'm just so excited about how your experience is going out to help just so many other children that are going through this process.
Thank you. And our series is it's a kid talk series. So we're planning to have a couple of different books about different topics that can help transition into a conversation that will help parents and children to connect.
That's great. Well, do you have anything else that you would like to add before we close out our interview today?
I just want to say, thank you for having us. And, divorce is hard, but it doesn't have to be like horrible. So I encourage parents to definitely keep the children in mind when you're interacting with the co-parent, and to always make a safe space for your child to come to you with whatever that they want to share with you.
Absolutely. I always try to tell my clients the way you conduct yourself in the divorce process really sets the tone for the rest of your children's lives. People think, oh, I only have to deal with my former spouse until my kids are 18. And the truth is that eventually there'll be weddings, there'll be grandchildren, there'll be grandchildren's birthday parties, grandchildren's graduations, maybe even grandchildren's weddings. So if you can learn to co-parent early on, you'll be able to share those events without creating stress and chaos for the children. The last thing we want is to have our children to be afraid to invite us to something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like having to choose between parents, like they shouldn't have to choose. They love their parents, and like being able to coexist is really important. Just, they might not be your favorite person, but to be able to coexist with your ex is really important, because the children want to feel like they can invite both parents without feeling stressed. And even not just when they're younger, like you were saying with graduations and weddings, people grow up and still feel like, oh my gosh, should I invite mom? Should I not invite mom? Should I invite dad? Should I not invite dad? And it could be really stressful in your adult life as well. So learning, early on to co-parent and coexist in a peaceful manner is definitely important.
I agree. Well, thank you both for joining me today. And if you want to reach out and get in touch with Cindy or Abby, or you want to purchase their book, I will be putting the link for you to be able to find them on Amazon and find out some more information.
Yeah, and if anyone has like any topics that you would like to see us talk about in our series, you can email us at bravekidpress@gmail.com.